go ahead and get started. Because normally we don't have any set agenda, actually, since it's your first one, and Susan, we don't really have a set agenda. I may have a guest speaker come, and it just may be us talking. And that's why I kind of sent out a text to see what you guys kind of want to talk about this time. And so I've gotten some feedback. So I'll go ahead and talk about what some of the people wanted to talk about today. So how to do an open house during a pandemic. Ashley is doing an open house this afternoon. Tony is doing some showings, I think, and she has done an open house. And Daria is doing an open house today. So I just kind of wanted to give you some of this information. So in Breakthrough Broker, and I have the link up there, there is a open house lead generation. They have all information about open houses. So it's, you know, a lot to go through. They have a form you can print out, a sign-in sheet. They have a flyer you can make up. If you want to do door knocking before the open house, I suggest that because that's a good way to market yourself. Even if you don't have any business cards, you're going to have your name on there. And people keep them, and they may want to sell their house in a month or two and keep your flyer and contact you to be their agent. Or if the neighbors just come in and want to be nosy, that's fine. You can ask them, are you looking, or are you just a nosy neighbor? Or, you know, kind of make it fun. Don't hover around them. Don't follow them around the house. Of course, answer any questions that they may have according to what's on the MLS. If you have a branded app with HAR, I would give that to them once they sign in. You say, well, let me, if you're not represented by a realtor, let me send you my branded app. That way,
sorry, Vanda, what's a branded app, or is that something that's in KV Core?
It's in HAR.
It's Houston in what?
Houston Association of Realtors.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's for platinum members.
Got it. Okay.
So if you sign up for that, you'll have that. So any house that they look at, you'll see what they're looking at.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Now, I also would send them to KV Core because you can do the same thing in KV Core if they're looking at a house. It'll tell you what houses they looked at, and so has looked at a house in 2 weeks and now they're back on there looking. So you can look at KV Core and say, oh, well, let me reach out to them. Let me send them a text. I've done that with people. They're like, oh, you must have been reading my mind. I'm like, you just don't know. I was in KV Core, so you had looked at a house. But you know, that generates conversation. And so one of the ladies, and I have her link here. Let me see if I can pull this up. She says, don't ask them if they're working with a realtor. Instead, ask them the name of their realtor. Because they can say, oh yes, I'm working with a realtor, just so they don't, you know, you're not bugging them. So this is the link here, Mastering Open Houses and the Best ROI. So I will put this in the chat so you'll have that link. Don't hover, let them take a look around. Why don't, if you're really looking for a home, why don't you actually have an agent? Ask them what kind of house they're looking for. I have other houses that can meet your criteria. No one is going to come in and say they want to use you as an agent, so you have to build that relationship with them. And then follow up, of course, seal in the deal, put them in KV Core. Send them a market report, which is you get from KV Core. Make it once or twice a week. That way they keep coming back to your site. So, okay, I'll go ahead and put this in the chat since I figure out how to do that. Let's see.
Hey, Vanda, I think you sent this earlier this week. It was very helpful.
Oh, good. Okay.
But back on the presentation that you had up, you had the documents. I was writing it down. You want to have a blank IABS. You wanted to have a blank buyer agreement. Not in here, in your mentee thing.
Yeah. I just have those things in my car at all times because you just never know.
Agreed. So what are it's the blank IABS, A blank buyer agreement, and then what's the third document?
A contract.
Contract. Okay.
Yes, in case they want to, like, I want this house now, and you can kind of jot down, okay, let's fill this out now.
Okay. So in the blank IABS, I know I've got, because I had to fill it out and post it on my link, or whatever. It's the buyer agreement and the contract. You get these out of the contract's the 1 to 4 that you just get from Trek, and
Yes.
it's the buyer and the buyer rep that's from EXP, right? That's not a Trek doc.
It may not be a Trek one, but it's a Texas. It is a Texas one. Yeah.
Where do we? This is where I'm sorry, I haven't done KV Core or SkySlope training yet. Where do we get those documents?
You get them in zip forms. So you haven't set up zip forms either.
No, I think I have a link to zip forms. Is it through HAR? Is that through SkySlope or
EXP? EXP.
EXP. Okay.
So once you go into zip forms, then there's a link where you can get forms from NAR, HAR, TAR. I think those are the three: HAR, NAR, and TAR. And then EXP. You can download those from the world.
Okay.
And did you join my Facebook group? Because I do have some training in there on zip forms and stuff like that.
I think I did.
Okay. So you don't have to give them IABS at an open house.
Right. It's just if they follow up with you and ask, it's that first substantive conversation.
Right. And then follow up is the key. Thank you for coming. This house didn't suit your needs. How can I help you find something else? And of course, now you have to have your mask and your sanitizer. You can have snacks and water if you want, but as I was telling you yesterday, it's your open house. You can do it however you want to. You can have wine and cheese if you want. You can have cookies, cake. You can have, I've even heard of people having a taco truck. And I've gone to one where they had a taco truck outside, but they had a lot of people come through, because they want a free taco. So it just depends on your budget, what you want to do.
Okay.
Okay. So some new resources I want to share with you guys. Lease to own options to explore. One of them is called Divvy, DIVVY. Now they will give you referrals, but you have to pass a test with them with 90% or more. Now I'm gonna be honest, I took the test twice and I haven't passed it yet. I am gonna take it again, but I read again, there was 2 links on there that of papers that I didn't download. So I was going through the presentation and all the questions on the test were not on the presentation. So they're on these documents. So I have to download those documents, read those, and then I'm gonna take it again. I'm sure I'll pass. Because the last time I passed, I got 89.5. I was real close.
Gosh.
So, but you can still refer to them. If you have a client that maybe they want to lease a home before they're able to purchase it, you can still go that way. You just won't get referrals from them. And then the other one is Trio. I haven't looked into them yet. And then the other one is Home Partners of America. Now I have heard of them before and I had referred a client to them, a couple of clients to them, but they weren't even qualified for them because you had to have like $4,000 in the bank. Your credit score has to be, I think it was 580. You had to have a stable job and things like that, that you kind of need to do to qualify for a home, but you didn't qualify still for Home Partners of America. So you just never know. You can still help a person get into a home that they like, but they're not purchasing it yet. So they get into it this year, maybe they can purchase it next year or the year after that. So those are some resources for you. So there's a guy named Kelly Wheeler. He's also with EXP. He has a digital marketing for real estate agents. These are on YouTube. So let me pull his up right quick. It's 34 minutes. Of course, we're not going to watch it here. But
hello, this is Kelly. If you are on my YouTube channel, go ahead and click subscribe. Take a look at all the videos that I've got for you.
He's got a lot of videos up here.
Complicated and new free lead generation. What to do to maximize marketplace. How to find the generate.
Goes through more than that.
Buyer leads in years of.
Oh yeah.
Now, imagine a FSBO gets a box with a full color picture.
So he basically talks about how to market to for sale by owners and expired listings. So I don't know if that's in anybody's plan to do that, but if so, he would be a good resource. I have not ventured into that yet, but I might do that this year. Just putting it out there, letting you know. Op City, oh, Express Offers. So Express Offers is like for iBuyers. You know what iBuyers are? Yes? Susan? Susan, do you know what iBuyer is? I think she said yes. Okay. So a person, a family does not want to have open houses. They don't want to fix their house up. They just want to move and, you know, they don't want to stage their house. They don't want all that kind of crap going on with their house. So we can go to give them an express offer. So this will go to different iBuyers, different categories. They'll tell you they want the house to be under 300,000, in a good school district, there's certain criteria they want. And if this house meets their box, their iBuyer box, they will buy that house from you. You would represent the express offers people, the seller, and you would still get 3% commission. So there's a training that you have to take, and it's on Workplace. You have to join the group, and then they'll invite you to the training. The training is self-paced, so it's not a specific class you have to go to at a certain time. You just go through the trainings, and then you take a little test afterwards, and then you're express offer certified. So if you notice on my email, I have that little logo that says I'm express offer certified. So with that one, I have submitted a couple of homes to them, but the buyers didn't accept the offer. So I haven't gone through the whole thing with them, but I have started the process with some people. And then of course, COVID hit and now they're not ready to sell. So it reminds me, I need to follow back up with them. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Let me write that down. Sorry. Okay. Any questions on express offers? No? Okay.
Well, let's say you have, like you being the express offer certified, you have, let's say you are putting my house in there because I don't want to have an open house or having people here, etc. You have this database of iBuyers that might match what I offer through you with my house.
Yes.
And you make that match and you get 3% from me.
Yes. So
no, there's not a buyer representative agent on the other side for them, for the iBuyer. Like there's no other agent.
No.
There's one agent and that's you.
Right.
Oh, and the seller would be me, only give a 3% to you. And that's it.
Actually, the iBuyer pays the 3%.
Oh, so me this time being the seller, I'm not putting down any commission.
Right. So of course, you're not going to get a full price offer like you would if you listed on the MLS. It's going to be reduced.
Mhm.
So hold on, I taken 2 of the modules this week.
Oh.
There is only 3%, and it's on the seller side. It's not the buyer side, because the iBuyers pay a fee to be on our platform, if I understand it right. So if you're listing the house and you put it through and the iBuyer accepts it, you'll get the 3% from the listing side. And then there's a possibility that if they're buying it to flip it, because they're going to buy it at normally about a 30% discount, because they usually are going to have to do renovations, then they'll maybe agree to relist it with you. So you have the potential to get the next flip commission, if that makes sense.
Okay. And they might or might not list it with you when they flip it.
It depends what it says in their buyer box, which is kind of the profile of what they're looking for. And it says that there's a check mark that said, will relist with EXP when finished, if it's a flip. And so you kind of have to watch out for that. That's one of the selling points of what the iBuyer potentially could do for you. It's an interesting model.
I probably go back through that again and get a better understanding, because it's been over a year since I did that.
And what's interesting, if I understood it right, is that the EXP's Express offers, it's different than the big 3, and it's the Open Doors, Zillow, and what the third one is, I can't remember right now. And I think that with the pandemic, they've stopped, and they've also gotten some negative feedback about it. And what this is that EXP is not in that they're creating a marketplace. So there's no ownership that EXP is involved with. They're just creating the platform for the dialogue. I don't know much about the other offerings yet, but it was very interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. I'll be taking it. I just wanted to know more about it, but I find it interesting. I just wanted to know the mechanics of it. So thank you.
Sure.
So go into Workplace and join that group.
Yeah. So there's, I think, 5 modules or 5 like levels. I'm on the 2nd level, but the first 101 had 7 modules to it. You could do it it probably takes it took about 4 hours to do that first one. So it's not, but it's self-paced. So I'm not sure how long it'll take to get it done, but it's interesting. So,
Good information. Thanks, Ash.
Huh? I'm sorry.
I said good information. Thanks, Ashley.
You're welcome.
So OpCity, someone wanted to know about OpCity. Are you guys all on OpCity?
No, I got the emails and I didn't know what to do with it.
Okay. OpCity, anyone that they refer to you from OpCity, you have to pay a 35% referral fee to OpCity. So the people they're getting them from realtor.com. So a client or a customer goes into realtor.com, they see this house and it says contact an agent. Well, they're contacting OpCity. OpCity will then put a notification on your phone if you happen to be the one to get it, because I've missed hundreds of them because I'm not fast enough. And then I get it, and then they do a live connect with you and the person. So I did one yesterday, and I just happened to get it. She's looking to buy a house in, what city is this? Not Hempstead, somewhere off, Brennan, off of 290. So I'm probably gonna meet her sister out there tomorrow. But that's one way of getting clients without having to do the advertising and kind of get your feet wet. Now, excuse me, for leases, you still have to pay a 35% referral fee. So if your leases are just $1,000 or $1,200, it may not be worth your time to do that. Now, I do have one mentee who is doing her leases through OpCity, but she lives downtown. So the leases there are, you know, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, which is definitely worth it. So that is a way for you to get some business. Ring Central is also a way that EXP has for you to get some business. Ring Central, this might be one here, calling. It's just a number that calls you, you get it, and it says, Houston agents, press 1 to accept or 2 to decline. If you press 2, they'll hang up. They may call back again because nobody else is picking up. They may call back another time because nobody's picking up. So it goes round robin to all the Houston agents who have opted in to get Ring Central. Now, this is the 888 number that's on the listings. So a lot of times they're calling and they're asking for an agent. Hey, I saw a house, so-and-so, I want to speak to, you know, Rick Tankersley. I'm calling about a property. Okay, then I get the property address and see if I can help them. Sometimes they just want to speak with that agent. And then of course I don't have that agent's number. So I tell them to go to Trek and look that agent's information up. Now, if I can help them with that, then that client becomes my client. And I have gotten some clients that way just by picking up the phone. And a lot of times it could be another realtor calling because they're like, I've been trying to get a showing at this property and the agent's not calling me back. You know, I don't know what to tell you, or, you know, I tell them to go to Trek, try to find that person's number or email them, you know, something like that. So you could just be a secretary when you're answering the call. And sometimes they have a complaint and then I will refer them, of course, to the broker. I say, well, look, here's the supervisor's number, call them. I can't help you with that. Maybe they can help you. It could be an inspector. It could be insurance company. I've had some calls from centralized showing calling. And of course, if I don't have a listing, I don't answer it because I know that's probably what it is. So, but what you have to do is email tx.broker@exprealty.com and ask to get included in Ring Central if you want to get on that.
So Vanda, are you recommending that we as new agents sign up for both Op City and to, I mean, I have Ring Central number, but to join the round robin, it's worth it and just pick up your phone?
I think it's worth it. Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So sometimes, Susan, at these meetings, I've had lenders come. I had commercial, I've had residential. I'm going to try to get an inspector to come talk with us next week. I think that would be beneficial to kind of know what the inspectors are looking for. If you should attend with your inspector, if you have a home that's being inspected, should you be there? Should the client be there? I say yes, they should be because they need to know about that home, at least for the last 30 minutes. They don't need to be there maybe the whole 2 hours if they're going to be looking at everything. But when he's getting ready to summarize everything, he may come and say, well, look, I found this. It's not really a big deal, blah, 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 you know, and they kind of summarize with you. And that way you know what's going on. Any questions about anything on here? No? Okay. New construction. Ashley and I went out to Perry Homes yesterday and we talked to the salesperson there. So I would just recommend that you get to know the builders. All of the new constructions are listed with the realtor. Now I would try to get in and become a listing for the realtor. I looked at some and some of these realtors have 100 listings, all new construction. How they do that, I don't know. I think they're probably related to the builder or something. You never know. But if you know any builders, and all of them are not big names, you know, there are some small mom and pop builders out there. And if they can't sell their home on their own because they're not a realtor, they can't put it on the MLS, then you might be able to get in with them and list their home. Builders have incentives. Sometimes they'll throw in gutters, sprinkler systems, closing costs. Sometimes you have to use their own lender to get some of these closing costs and some of these incentives. Some of them give you 4% commission. I've seen it up to 7% at some builders. with repeat closings. Now, the lady at Perry yesterday told us they just do 3% across the board because they sell so many. So it just depends on the builder. And then find out who their preferred lenders are. Some of them have preferred lenders and some of them don't.
And you ask them for you to list their homes or just to take buyers for them or?
Well, like somebody like a Perry home, they already have listing agents. But if you find a mom and pop one, a smaller one, yeah, definitely. Who can I list your homes for you? Any questions or feedback from yesterday, Ashley?
No, you covered it. Well, I guess my quick summary is that the Perry agent made it sound like that their inventory is pretty small with the new builds, and there's a lot going up. And this was out in Cane Island, west of 99, off of I-10. And they've got some other development areas a little south of I-10. But the one thing I was telling Vanda, when I got home, I was looking at what the resale value is of some of the other homes in the neighborhood, because she made it sound like there was no inventory, which of course she would, because she's trying to sell. There are a number of homes that they're not brand new builds, but they're built within the past 5 years on the earlier side of the construction that are also up for sale again. So it's just interesting to see the pattern of what's going on with the new construction, but yet the resale of the homes that are in the neighborhood that are back on the market. It's not a dynamic I'm overly familiar with, so I'm trying to educate myself on it, if that makes sense.
So with the new construction, if you have a client that says they're interested in new construction, make sure you contact the builder and register that client with you. Because if your client goes out there and they say, well, no, I don't have a realtor, you're out of that. And I've had neighbors that knew I was a realtor, but they went on a Sunday drive, just stopped at the new home builder, signed up. Next thing I know, they're moving into their new house. I'm like, well, we got such a great deal with him. We didn't need a realtor. So, I mean, it happens. So just make sure you educate. I didn't even know they were looking to buy, because they weren't. They were just out on a Sunday drive pre-COVID. But anybody that's may be in the market, to say, look, if you go and you find something, let me know, put me down as your realtor. I can see what I can do to kind of help with some of the closing costs. And you can give up some of your commission if you want to give them a little incentive to use you. Like, oh, I may be able to help you out if they don't put sprinkler systems in or gutters. I might be able to help you out. You don't have to tell them that's what you're doing, but it's something you could do if you wanted to.
Yes, but and Vanda, you said something. It was interesting is that the buyers are offering a discount on the new construction, obviously, versus what's already been completed. But the prices of the new construction are going up as of the 8th of February. That's what the Perry lady told us, because of the cost of lumber. So kind of across the board, the price of new construction is going to go up in the next week. So
yeah, everything's going up. Okay, so I think I had also emailed you guys this, but I just wanted to go over it again because it's really kind of helping me out. And these are the savers. Have you guys read this book, Miracle Morning, yet? Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents. I can't even see it. I don't know how to get that up there. Well, anyways, Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents. And one of the things in there is to get up earlier, like they recommend 5 a.m. That may be a little early for everybody, but I've been getting up at 5 a.m. for the last couple of weeks. And you think you don't have time to do all this stuff, but if you get up at 5 a.m., you really do. You have a lot of time in your day when nobody else is around. So you just get up and you have your moment of silence, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. Do your affirmations, do your visualization. Where do you want to see your business, your life, your health, whatever it is. You have time to exercise, do some reading, do some self-improvement, and do some scribing and some journaling. And I mentioned the app 5 that I've been using. It reminds me to write in there, things I'm thankful for, how my day went, things like that. So those are some things that I would recommend. And then also your planning and time management. So you have to time block and stick with it. And in your time blocking, you would want to put in things like your prospecting, your learning, your agent attraction, if that's what you want to do. Put in your open house, if you're going to do it weekly, if you're going to do it monthly, if you're going to do it bi-weekly. Put in your family time, your downtime. And I'm just going from what was on mine. I put in iConversations because I try to listen to that every Friday in the morning. Put in my lunch, my mentee meetup, and whatever else you might have going on in your life. If you do spin class or if you do volunteering, you would put your time in for that. And then, of course, in your prospecting time, it would be your phone calls, your emails, direct messaging if you're on social media posts. And I always tell you guys, don't be a secret agent. You got to let people know what you're doing. Let them know that you are a realtor. If they don't know, you're a secret agent and they won't use you because they don't know that that's what you do and you can help them out. So it's not like you're bugging them. It's not like you're trying to sell them something. You're trying to help them. If there's something that they need, you can help them. So don't look at it as, oh, I don't want to bug them. I don't want to call them. You're helping them. Any questions?
Is there any web page where we can get images for our posts, or are they all copyrighted? I mean, because I would, I don't know if it would be too intrusive to just take a picture to a random house and put it on, on your own post without anybody's approval. Like, I don't know how would that work.
Is the house for sale?
No, 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 no. Just, if you want to talk about putting out there something about real estate, and let's say sometimes you put the image of a kitchen or of a dining room or whatever, where can we get those images without infringing any copyrights?
Well, let me tell you where I get mine from. And
Yeah.
Ashley can attest to this. When I was at the new builders, I was taking pictures.
Ah,
They're all beautifully decorated, staged, and everything. Take pictures. You can use that because it's in your camera. And of course, the builders want you to take pictures.
okay.
They don't have a problem with that.
Oh,
Now, if you're doing an open house for someone, take pictures while you're there. Ask them, can you market it as well? Most likely they're going to say, yes, please market it.
mhm.
So that's another reason to get out to some open houses and some new construction homes. Now there are some other sites that I haven't used them, but it's like Pixabay. Um, and then of course, if you Google some stock images that aren't copywritten, you can do it that way. But they may not have the houses in Houston. They may not look like Houston houses. They may look like Massachusetts houses or California houses. So I would think you would want to market one that is actually for sale in the Houston area.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or anything you guys want to talk about?
No, I mean, for me, everything, it's fine.
How's your international marketing going?
It's going. I'm still talking to people down in Mexico for them to know more about EXP. I mean, it just launched down there, and I'm talking about it. And I mean, obviously, it's gonna take time. It won't happen at the first call, but
Right.
it's going. Yeah. I mean, obviously, it consumes time from what I need to do on this side, but you know, it's about expanding, you know, so that's what I'm doing.
Right. Anybody have their schedule for next week done?
Well, I already saved my time for the Rick Tankersley crash course, and just you know the rest of the day. I don't know if I might start the express offer course also next week. Gonna
Mhm.
and that's about it.
Okay. How about you, Susan?
I'm still working on it. I've got all my training planned out for next week already.
Okay.
It's a lot. Find it.
All right. What about you, Ashley?
I've got the Rick Tansley training scheduled, and then I want to go forward on the express training, and I need to do the KV core, and I want to do the sky slope.
Awesome.
And try to do a couple previews, and based on what happens at the open house tomorrow, I don't have a whole lot of hope. I mean, it's been on the market for a while. It's a really busy. I don't know why it hasn't sold, but there's not much in inventory around here, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Make sure you go back to that little quiet area in the back behind the garage.
Oh, okay. I'll go check that out.
Yeah. Yeah. That was really nice. I remember that.
So I'm intrigued. I'll see what happens. There's nothing in that price point else really around because everything else is over $1 million, and the inventory is gone. Stuff's flying off the market. So I'm excited to see what happens. I went into Regis to try and see what the offering of, how we have the ability to go into Regis offices. I went and checked one out and just trying to figure out what marketing materials and just drinking out of the fire hose.
So are you going to knock any neighbors, or are you going to give out flyers, or how are you marketing the open house other than making sure it's on par?
I'm not, to be honest. I just feel like since this house has been on the market pretty much for 6-7 months, that all the neighbors know and that a lot of people know. I will put out some signs and just see kind of where it goes. And I've got it on my Facebook business page. I don't have a ton of people liking it, but I'm trying to, I guess, I'm not trying to be a secret agent, but I'm trying to put my big toe or my baby toe in first and see kind of how it goes.
Where is this home?
It's on Willcrest, between Memorial and I-10. It's literally been on the market since I think October. I think Tony, when I talked to her, told me she had done an open house there, and so she gave me a couple tidbits as well. It's a small house and it's on a pretty busy street.
Yes, on a busy street.
So,
Oh, okay. So,
but it didn't flood. It's very close to the floodplain because it's on the back. It's backs up to Rummel Creek, which partly flooded during Harvey.
okay.
So
So those are that's the feedback that they have received, the downside of it. Because you know how people give a feedback about a property of, I didn't like this, I prefer this, etc. And that's when you get what downside people are finding on that specific property. I mean, if it's been for so long, probably there's that one thing that people are staying away from.
oh, it is. It's I will just tell you that based on my knowledge of what's going on, and I'm starting off in my kind of zip code and my sweet spot of knowledge of real estate.
Yeah.
It's the location.
Oh.
It's on a cross street right by Katy Freeway, and so that's why.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's at a price point that's you can't get into the schools. It's at a really low price point, and so the only reason why it's just location.
Oh, okay.
Have they reduced the price again? Do you know?
I don't know. It's under 500. So, and one of the things I want to do either this afternoon or tomorrow morning before I go there is see what's still available. I was looking yesterday. The closest thing by it that's less than $1 million is 729, and I actually know that house as well. I actually know the people that own it. It backs up to Memorial, and there's no garage on that one. But other than that, in that immediate 1 to 2 mile radius, if you go a little bit further west, past Derry Ashford, kind of towards me, they break down the price is a little bit lower. It's just there's no inventory, and the stuff that's priced well literally closes within 4 days, or goes into contract within 4 days of going on the market. So it's pretty hot.
Well, I hope you have a good turnout and get an offer on it.
That would be ideal. We'll see.
Okay. So let me know. I'll be available tomorrow if I'm not out in Brenham in the afternoon. I'm waiting on them to call me back so we can confirm these appointments. So
Very fun. We'll enjoy your trip out to Brenham. It's beautiful out there.
yeah. And that's an Op City referral too. So you just never
All
know.
right. Well, then there's the incentive to go sign up for Op City. So,
I'm gonna hate it when I gotta give up that 35%, but hey, yeah.
it's
It's what it is. Like I wouldn't have it otherwise. So
exactly.
okay, ladies. Well, if you don't have anything else, I don't have anything else. And I'll give you back 10 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good week. And I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay, great. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Vanda.
Weekend. Thank you, Vanda.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.